the chairman, honorable and great speakers, and then great men and women here in gathered, a very warm welcome and then good morning to you all. Okay, so I believe that my forerunners have done a great job and a fantastic job. Let's appreciate them once more. Our frontier speakers, Mr. Isaac Buama, as he spoke on the role of the youth in nation building or national transformation, and then also Mrs. Wilson on gender equality. So we want to press the subject further on the future of work, and actually they've made mention of a good number of them, so I'm very, very safe. The future of work. In the 16th century, there was an empire called the Aztec Empire. For those of you who have watched this movie, Apocalypto, great. Yeah, so that movie was centered on the Aztec Empire. It had run for about 600 good years. They were very mighty, boisterous, and very powerful. It is present day somewhere around Mexico. Now, in 1521, the Spaniards charged against them, led by a captain called Fernando de Cortes. And then when he went there, he went with just a little band of soldiers to go and then conquer a 600-year-old empire, which is the Aztec Empire. How were they able to conquer? They were able to conquer because it is in the practice of the Aztec Empire that when they go for war, they do not spill so much blood at the battlefield, because per their superstitious beliefs, they needed to catch them as slaves and then bring them home to offer them as sacrifices. So if you watch the film very well, they went there, captured them, and then that was their practice. So when they were going into warfare, their combat, they were more of wrestlers. So their combat was to capture their enemies whole and intact in order to present them as sacrifices to their gods. But for the Spaniards, it is do and die. So because they were not willing to change, and because of the way they were practicing when they went for war, it was easy for Fernando de Cortes with just a little band of soldiers to conquer them. What is this story pointing to? It's pointing to the fact that the future of work in Africa and then in our times is shifting so much, and that if you are not willing to take up the pains to be very dynamic, you may end up like the Aztec Empire. There are many things which used to be working for some time past that in this time, if you repeat the same thing, you will go nowhere. The truth is, if you do not adjust yourselves relative to the demands ahead, you will fizzle out within the shortest possible time. Three things briefly that I believe we can put in place as emerging young leaders as we prepare ourselves for the future of work that will help us to be in sync with the global demands. One, your domain skills, what I've called your domain skills. A lot have been said on technology and then AI, and then I'm just adding a little to it. Choose your domain or your niche very carefully. And once you have chosen that, what you should do is that give yourself extreme and excessively to the pursuit of knowledge. As Isaac Buama rightly said, unfortunately, we spend, whether waste or spend, I can't even tell, but we spend, or possibly we waste so much time on the social media, jumping from TikTok to the other platforms. What are we doing? We are just liking pictures. We are following all kinds of things. What you are not doing, somebody somewhere is actually doing it. And we cannot continue business as usual. So the truth of the matter is that once you get your domain, give yourself to the pursuit of knowledge in that chosen domain. With technology, you can globalize your skills. You may not necessarily have to japa to go to maybe US or Canada. You can be here in Accra, in Kumasi, wherever you are, and then it is possible to globalize your skills. People could be in Singapore, could be in US, and then they'll be chasing after you because you have invested so much into yourself. What is your domain and what is your domain knowledge base? I've always been telling my people that if there is any journal, any article, any book in your chosen domain, after some time, maybe you can give yourself about 3 to 5 years. By 5 years' time, you must be determined that you are either the best or amongst the best in your chosen domain, not in Ghana, but on the global scale. And it is much more than a possibility. It is much more than a possibility. You can do it. I can do it. Let us give ourselves excessively to it. So I've been saying that if there is any material which you are yet to read, possibly after 5 years, then it should be that that book is yet to be published. That should be the extent to which you must be determined that I choose to be either the best or among the best in my chosen field. Number 2 happens to be your domain or your catalytic posture. What I've called your catalytic posture. That is in the light of values. It is not only about the knowledge that you have, but also the kind of values that you have which will thrust you forward. Many of us, we have some set skills and knowledge, but unfortunately, we are not reliable. Unfortunately, we do not respect time. Unfortunately, we do not value human lives. Unfortunately, we are not given to very key values that will make us reliable. We are not consistent. So if we are working at a workplace, we cannot be consistent. When our bosses desire to give certain deadlines, always we are begging for an extension of deadlines. These are certain postures that if you do not have it, it doesn't matter the extent of your intelligentsia, it is going to cripple you. As we normally say, that your intelligence can take you to a height, but it is character and attitude which will keep you there. So we call it, or I'm calling it catalytic, because I know we know enzymes. They are catalysts, which means they speed up the process. So it is good to have your domain skills and knowledge very great and strong. You must add to that your catalytic posture, the posture of reliability, the posture of consistency, the posture of discipline, the posture of respect for time, and many, many others. If you have a strong base of value, I can assure you that the future of work, which is more of technological globalization, you will not be missing in it at all. In that given field or domain which I made mention of, don't just go through the norm. Be scouting for what are the emerging trends in this field. What are the unanswered questions in this field? Because the world is no more hungry for academicians. The world is hungry for solution bearers. And if you can provide solution, even if you are in Jupiter or Saturn, we will get a way to get you there, or to get there and then get a solution. So it is not so much about where you are, it is so much about the investment that you are giving to yourself. What are the problems in your field? And what can you harness through technology, AI, metaverse, and all these stuffs to provide resounding solution to those given problems? That is what is going to thrust us forward in the future of work. Though there are several statistics, but I resonate with what Isaac Wama said, that for set gatherings, maybe we may not have to bore ourselves with a lot of statistics, but rather to ignite certain thought patterns, that this is what is needed at this critical time. The last that I will add will be the catalytic skills. The catalytic skills. Maybe 5 or 6 of them which I may recommend. One happens to be leadership skills. And this one, regardless of your domain, I humbly submit to you that you must take the pains to develop these skills. As I've qualified it, they are catalytic. They can speed you up, and it can give you an edge above your contemporaries within the shortest possible time. Leadership skills. We have a lot of leadership crises in our nation and in Africa. Whether it is in politics, in religion, in the corporate world, give yourself to it. And then develop the necessary leadership skills. Starting with yourself. That is personal leadership. If you are leading yourself properly, then you also have the opportunity to lead maybe a company, or maybe even a nation or a continent, or even in your domain. You can be a professional leader. Leadership skills. Number 2, technology. Skills in technology. Let us take pains to explore various aspects of technology. Not to plagiarize somebody's thought. We must be original in our presentation. But we can harness on it. At a click of a button, you can get access to so much information. In fact, with the days and years ahead, it used to be that ignorance was bliss. But I don't think it is any more bliss. For now, if you are ignorant, you will really struggle and then suffer. So the skills in technology will also take you far. The other forms of catalytic skills, you could also explore organizational skills. And these ones, as I said, it is regardless of the program you are reading or even your domain. Leadership cuts across. Technology cuts across. Organizational skills cuts across, because naturally you are going to deal with human beings. We are social elements and social fabrics. So ability to organize yourself and organize your thoughts and organize people, driving towards a common agenda to take you far. Number 4, public speaking skills. In fact, you can master the art of public speaking, and even that one alone, regardless of your certifications, can project you so much higher, even on a global scale. You may start somewhere. Give yourself to it. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Through constancy of practice, you'll be able to get to a point where you become so explorative. Even at dawn, if you are waking up, you can speak so excellently, which we normally call extempore. If you want to speak extempore, then you must read beyond mastery. Extempore means that you are not even aware, just like we have gathered here. You are not aware, in fact, you are not a speaker. And then we point you at random that come and give a 15-minute or 20-minute talk. You can imagine what will happen to your soul. But there are some people that are prepared so much that regardless of the topic, regardless of the time, they are not even aware. They can be chosen at random, and they will present even better than the speakers that have been given earlier notice. If you want to speak extempore, then you must read beyond mastery and constancy of practice. Give yourself to public speaking skills. Because even if you are an entrepreneur or even an innovator, you should be able to sell your ideas. The confidence, the skills that you'll be able to sell your ideas to make it a compelling idea is very, very strong and very, very needed. Maybe the last that I'll add is the skill of system building. System building. Your ability to conceptualize thoughts and then break complex situations into significant phases, phase by phase, meaningful, to simplify it. You will easily be a hot cake wherever you are. I believe strongly that if you have your domain knowledge and skills intact, if you have your catalytic posture well situated on sound transformational values, and as well as you have yourself strongly founded on these catalytic skills, the sky will no more be your limit. As I end, I'll say this, that there are no dry lands. There are only dry men. There are no dry lands anywhere. There are only dry men. Take Dubai, for example. It is on a desert, but they've been able to build themselves to the point where they can, we call cloud seeding. They can activate the clouds for it to rain as and when they want. So they are technically on a dry land, but the people there, with their leadership, they are not dry. So because of that, they have been able to transform a wilderness or a desert into a place where we all keep on going. We are here in Ghana, in Africa. There is abundance of natural resources and even water bodies. But because we are dry on the inside, we are galamseying our water bodies. And then we are struggling to even get potable water. The person in Dubai is not struggling to get potable water because he is not dry on the inside. What do I mean? If you are able to develop an internal fountain of river or waters, it doesn't matter the external factors. You can be placed in the harshest of conditions, but because you have invested so much and you are not dry on the inside, you can turn the dryness into a river. But if you are dry on the inside, then there will be floods upon floods of water bodies. But after a while, it will become a wilderness. Let us not give ourselves to being dry on the inside. This is the difference between the contributing factors as well as the determining factors. Contributing factors are always external of us. Yes, political issues, unemployment, and then all that. These are external. They are contributing factors. But I rose to tell you that there is a factor stronger than contributing factors, which are determining factors. And the determining factors are internal. If we can look within, invest into ourselves with our domain skills, with the catalytic postures, and the right catalytic skills, I can assure you that a new wave will blow all across Africa. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong.
Thank you very much.